In this video, we'll be taking a look at some angry comments left on my videos by a bunch of angry fanboys. You already know it's gonna be a good one because angry comment videos are always better than all other videos. And yes, because I said so. Not to mention, they are incredibly easy to make, since the type of people who leave angry comments are not exactly known for having much critical thinking or an attention span of more than 2 seconds. Now, the original idea was for this video to feature YongYea fanboys exclusively, especially since my previous video criticizing him is in that area where you would expect a good number of angry comments, but surprisingly enough, it has not attracted that many angry fanboys, with most of the comments that you could say quote defend him being about "Hey there, play game in Japanese," and those comments are boring as fuck. So in the interest of making this video interesting, I once again bundled a bunch of angry comments in here, ranging from one ZDoom pseudo-intellectual all the way to more UnderTheMayo fanboys. Yes, those motherfuckers are still molding over Ultrakill. So without any further ado, let's jump right into the video, starting with this guy. "Yeah, well, YongYea voice acting sucks is the new popular opinion." And I left a reply explaining what the video is about, since this guy clearly hasn't watched past the first 5 seconds, a common trait among fanboys as you will notice. And when he was unable to deflect criticism with ignorance, he instead switched his strategy to guilt tripping and replied with, "He will never again be able to criticize anything without someone bringing this up." I mean, you're saying it like it's a bad thing, but you gotta love the double standards here, because YongYea is the exact type of person who is going to use any little mistake companies make, no matter how outdated or irrelevant it is. Such as that EA single player games quote that is over a decade old and long outdated. But that doesn't stop Yong from using it now, does it? The only difference here being is that hypocrisy and double standards don't have an expiration date, especially when YongYea is determined to keep contradicting himself. Okay, next comment. "This video is pointless." I don't know, getting $70 in 3 days while just sitting on my ass and doing absolutely nothing is pretty cool. "Don't you have anything better to do than make a whole video dedicated to talking shit about YongYea? I don't know who either of you are. Wasted my time clicking on this." And made sure to waste it even more by writing this comment along with a batch of hair on your head. Not that I'm complaining, because this is fucking golden. "Who fucking cares about any of the stuff you said?" Clearly you do, because if you didn't care, you wouldn't have even contemplated clicking on the video, but here we are. "So concerned about his voice acting, but your voice literally hurt my ears. What the fuck?" I'm glad you like it, but yeah guys, laughing at dumb shit, not allowed in 2023. Sadness. Oh yeah, speaking of ZDoom fanboys earlier, this next guy is the complete other side of that same retarded coin. "Didn't watch the video, but I can't respect someone playing a non-vanilla sourceport." Ah yes, because my b-roll totally changes what arguments I made in the video. Best hope this guy doesn't look too far into the b-roll of this video, he would probably fucking die. But then again, what more were you expecting from an anime bitch profile picture? Oh, and for those wondering, the sourceport I used in that video is fully vanilla compatible, just to add more icing on the cake. But yeah, time for a ZDoom smartass now. Prepare your brain cells. "I'll be 100% honest, Doom's original game design just doesn't hold up." Yes guys, forget the fact that Doom 2 is still popular and beloved to this very day. Nope, classic Doom is bad because this guy said so. He's obviously the expert here. "Saying sarcastically, playing the Doom it was meant to be played is a really bad opening argument. It doesn't actually argue that the game's original design was any good." I didn't realize I had to state the obvious, but then again, people on the internet are just that fucking stupid these days. Also, I didn't hear a single argument about how it's not any good. And considering the game sold millions, and it's still played religiously to this day, I take that over anything this retard says. "And taking issue with the fact that Doom isn't legitimately 3D. It isn't actually 3D. You need to do your research." Should I do it again? Fuck it, we're doing it again. "Actually, it's 2.5D. Doom is a 2.5D game." Why does this guy sound like he's genuinely brainwashed? Like, it's almost like they played that shit to him on a loop, and he's now repeating it back to us. Also, the term 2.5D refers to a game that has no third axis and is instead rendered to look like it has one. And since Doom has a third axis, which you can look up yourself since the code is open source, it cannot be 2.5D by definition. "The fact you argued it's a 3D game is absurd when almost everyone agrees it isn't." Oh, feel free to point out that subgroup of people who are still that delusional, because I would love to laugh at them. I'm frankly flabbergasted at the audacity you have calling this man names without having any arguments that the game is actually well designed. You need to reassess yourself. Endlessly ironic coming from a fanboy. But yes guys, my whole video is completely invalid because of some words this guy doesn't like. What can I say? My favorite swear words are bollocks, shit and fuck.
My favorite swear words is bollocks, shit and fuck.
So after I told this guy to check the only source that matters, the game's actual code, he said this: "You're just flat out wrong though." Well, would you look at that? Once he's presented with definitive proof that goes against his narrative, suddenly he's not going to entertain it. How curious. It's a 2.5D game that uses clever tricks to make it work as though it's 3D, referred to as a 2.5D.
No, look at this one.
That's why you cannot have room over room layouts. Okay, now this is probably the most retarded argument I've ever heard in regards to why something isn't 3D. King not 3D because X limitation. So does that mean cubes are not 3D because they have a limitation that all sides must be equal squares? Does that mean Minecraft is not 3D because of the height limit? Does that mean Hollow Knight is not 2D because there's no fall damage? You honestly have to try to make an argument this fucking stupid. You're so needlessly rude and abrasive while just being plain wrong. It's astounding anyone even listens to you. Well, to comprehend why that is the case, you need this thing called a brain. And since you cannot seem to grasp the first grade math concept of 3 axes equals 3 dimensions, it's proven beyond a shadow of a doubt you are missing one. You sound gross. Why, thank you. Buy me dinner next time. Okay, seriously though, why does this guy sound like that one guy from Slay the Spire? Like the guy that goes gross and bleed. Well, moving on. This clip is so insanely dumb, honestly. It screams insecurity like nothing else. The drawing of YongYea is a dead giveaway of both that and how butthurt the creator was. Now, if you're confused, this guy is angry over the shitpost I included in one of my videos, and this one to be exact. Those kids who to this day still insist Mayo said Ultrakill sucks because it's not Doom Eternal remind me of Twitter freaks. You could say, I like pancakes, and they would go, this person said waffles sucks because they aren't pancakes. Except you neglect to mention one small detail, and that being that Mayo took shots at people who play Ultrakill numerous times in the span of 3 videos, while criticizing it for the same things he praises Doom Eternal for. Hence why he got shit. That's a whole new sentence, you Neanderthal. Now, I don't know if he just misspelled the word Neanderthal, or if he's trying not to offend them considering he is one. Well, pick your poison, I guess. Again, this mindset screams insecurity like nothing else. And that's all from this guy. Now brace yourselves, we got another Mayo fanboy coming through. I feel like these guys low-key have a crush on me at this point. Whatever you say, man, that guy named Mayo at the end of his video praised Ultrakill, saying there were many parts he loved about the game. And that changes anything he said prior. How exactly? Oh wait, it doesn't. This guy is just hoping I'm as retarded as him, and that I would fall for this deflection tactic. Sorry to say it, man, I've heard it all before. Multiple times actually. But you, like the adult child you are, just kept insulting him, not realizing the guy was redeeming himself a little at the end. Oh, is that why he then kept doubling down until the bitter end? Played the victim, and then continued attacking the people who play Ultrakill, and even posted about starting the drama, and attempted to revive it a year later once his views started dropping. Yeah man, totally screams redemption, am I right? Man, you're over 20 years old, and you get mad because some irrelevant to the world guy named YongYea didn't praise the 100% of your favorite game! Ah, I see. So Mayo is allowed to criticize something, but if you criticize him for it, then you are just mad he doesn't enjoy your favorite game. Oh, and for the record, my favorite game is Doom 2. Ultrakill doesn't even come close. Maybe once Act 3 and the level editor come out that will change, but right now, nah. Now this next guy is probably one of the biggest chronically online losers I've ever seen. He left numerous comments on numerous different videos making the most retarded points, and even tried defending cheese pizza. Yeah, totally the pinnacle of reason and logic on YouTube. This reply in particular was on the video criticizing Actman's arena shooter video, after he left a comment where he tried to superimpose his own definition of the term arena shooter, and after I then replied saying that I went along with Ackman's definition, because settling on a single definition is literally fucking impossible, which this guy is proof of by the way, basically throwing Ackman the biggest bone imaginable. I suppose, though if that is the game you want to play, you could just call every shooter an arena shooter. You see, this is what these readers don't seem to realize. They try to call me out for the definition of arena shooters in the video, however, in reality they are arguing against Ackman here, since it is his definition, but they are just that fucking stupid to not realize it. Because technically, all game worlds could be defined as arenas, that would be a lot easier than arguing. So in short, deflection. And double standards as well. So he is allowed to have his definition, but if I have a definition that differs, then it's suddenly an issue. And then when I called out his flawed logic, this is what he had to say. Pretty much, yeah, it's just like you said, not a single normal person can agree on this. Exactly. So if Neanderthals like yourself would get their panties in the wad no matter what definition I use, is it not better to be as fair to the other side as humanly possible by using their definition? Comprehend, dipshit, where is the problem?
What is the problem?
But you have to agree on the definition before you criticize the Ackman, because otherwise you're talking about different things. Which is exactly what I did, you mouth-breathing Neanderthal. So basically, he's just angry that I didn't read his mind and didn't use his definition. But then again, EDP wannabes are not exactly known for their intelligence, nor do they deserve to be listened to, so moving on before anyone contracts something worse than brain damage from this guy. Oh yeah, now this next guy is part of the wonderful group of people known as the Griffin Gaming bad crowd, and he's angry that I called out his little group for lying about Griffin in order to start pointless drama with him, for no reason other than because they don't personally like him. And if you're wondering what Griffin did to these people, the answer is absolutely fucking nothing. But yeah, if you didn't believe me that these guys are hypocritical lunatics, allow me to present you with Exhibit A. Oh yes, the $1,500 isn't a life-changing amount for anyone's statement, a generalization if I ever saw one. And we're starting off strong by removing context to make this statement sound worse than it is. He was specifically saying that in reference to buying the latest graphics card on the market, so good job. Only a few words in and you already managed to prove one of my points perfectly. Oh, and even if we're not talking about graphics card, $1,500 is like your average monthly paycheck. Your life is not going to do a complete 180 if you get paid once. And any retard who claims otherwise obviously hasn't worked a day of their fucking life. He didn't clarify anything until after he got called out on it, because he didn't account for Twitter tards such as yourself taking anything out of context, and why would he need to? Even then, mentioning paying rent isn't life-changing either, when it very well could be for a homeless person, is still technically wrong, no matter how you slice it. Okay, no. Paying rent and getting a monthly paycheck are not life-changing events. If what you're saying is true, my life would not have stayed the exact same after getting my first paycheck, but oh wait, that is exactly how it went. And also, how the fuck did we get from contemplating buying the top tier graphics card to being fucking homeless? If you're homeless, buying computer parts is the least of your fucking problems. These motherfuckers are really desperate for any imaginary W, proving my point perfectly yet again. Basically, if he didn't generalize in the first place, then probably no one would have responded, simple as that. And lying yet again, because he in fact did not generalize, and people instead took the tail end of his speech out of context and used that to lie about what it was about. But no guys, it is Griffin's fault for not repeating exactly what his speech was about after every word. Once again proving my point about how much these people will lie to get their petty revenge for an imaginary wrong. But that's just my 2 cents anyways. Also, extra aside, there is a video out there called Griffin Gaming's response to mischief was mid, which kinda explains some issues that were present in Griffin's response to said YouTuber, meaning it basically wasn't some perfect slam dunk W whatsoever. So admitting where you were wrong and defending yourself from lies is not good enough apparently. You see guys, when someone falsely accuses you of murder, you are not supposed to defend yourself, because then that is not a perfect slam dunk W. You are supposed to say, Your Honor, I am sorry for murdering that man, I request the death penalty. And my thoughts on the video he mentioned are exactly as I said in the replies, but to add some more fuel to that absolute dumpster fire, the same guy who made that video also tried starting drama with Griffin by calling him a Quantum TV apologist. Yes, you heard that right. The person who criticized Quantum TV years before any of these channels knew about his existence and the person who was among the first to make a video calling for Quantum TV to be banned is now a Quantum TV apologist, according to that guy. And why? Well, because Griffin said do not stoop to his level. What a horrible statement, I know. Proving my point yet fucking again. Again, just 2 cents, this video is fine and everything, just wanted to add missing context of missing context. And doing that by creating even more missing context. Great logic, I must say. And after my reply, the double standards really started to sprout up. Griffin couldn't fully take the L either. You heard it here, guys. If you are falsely accused of something, you must take the L and admit to something you didn't do, according to Twitter. This is the internet, where no one can take an L for anything. Ah, okay. So earlier, it was a bad thing that Griffin didn't fully take the L, as this guy claims. Yet now, the goalpost shifts to, oh, it's just the internet, no one takes the L, when it's one of the Griffin Gaming bad motherfuckers that has to take the L. You love to fucking see it. If you don't say something dumb or outright wrong / full of misinfo, then no one responds to it. Would it be too much to ask you took your own advice? Because not only are you guilty of everything you just listed, but Griffin is in this particular instance guilty of neither. Because once again, everything people had against him in this situation in the first place was all a complete fucking lie. And now he goes on to give some example of a guy who was wrong with something and kept doubling down, and then he says, Griffin was nowhere near as bad. You are right, he is nowhere near as bad. However, everyone who spun this whole narrative and keeps insisting Griffin is guilty for something he didn't do over a year later at this point, yourself included, are way worse than the guy in your example. Go concede, you lowly hypocrite. If he just kept his yep shut for once, there would have been zero drama involving him poor shaming people, according to the drama. I'm sorry to say it again, guys, but if you're just that much in the right here, then you just need to hear the truth. If someone lies about what you said, that is your fault. They are completely absolved from any criticism because, well, people lie all the time. It's the nature of the world. You see, if you didn't say anything, there wouldn't be an issue. And once I tried to spell out to him how stupid that logic is, this is what he has to say. If you feature me in one of your future angry comments videos, just make sure to add this context. The only winning move is not to play, don't say anything, and no one has anything to respond to. You know, I did say earlier this guy should lead by example, but now I realize his stupidity will get me paid nicely, so there's that. The internet can be a dumb hive mind sometimes, is all I will say. Well, you're not really helping the spread of that phenomenon. But regardless, yeah, said hive mind should do the research. I agree with you there. I encourage research myself anyways, he says, yet despite that, he took every opportunity to excuse people not doing their research and lying about this situation, as well as taking every opportunity to lie about the situation himself. It's like I said earlier, these people can never just say they were wrong, there always has to be a but. And you know what a but and this group have in common, they're both full of shit. What a horribly toxic and immature channel you've got, you sound like an insufferable Andrew Tate simp. Bruh, I'm not even gonna try to understand that complete brain fart of a statement. And I don't even like Young, because he didn't recognize the staggering achievement The Last of Us 2 was. Damn, already YongYea W. Holy fuck. If this is what an average The Last of Us 2 fanboy looks like, then yeah, all the more reason to not like that mistake of a game. You come across as some minor small-time guy who's tragically bitter at larger creators. And here comes the sub count argument. You see guys, you are not allowed to talk about someone with more subs than you because that's clout chasing. But if you talk about someone with less subs, then that's bullying. So I guess by that same logic, does that mean that he is tragically bitter at me? I don't think he thought this one through. But then again, that's kind of what happens with your brain when you let Abby come from behind. And yes, in that way. Okay, next comment. Y'all gonna diss a man for trying to get his bag. Y'all whack, not gonna lie. Well, considering I make money from these videos, I can throw that shit right back at you. Still, a very interesting way to try and deflect criticism, haven't heard that one in a while. And this last comment is from a guy who's trying to claim how people who don't play video games competitively ruined video games. And I need to read this one in a big man gamer's voice, you'll see why. She's right. Casuals ruined gaming buying loot boxes and shortcuts especially. So sad indeed. So yes guys, video games are completely dead because of a practice that is being phased out by each passing day and GTA. What better way to end off a video than with a retard stuck in 2017. So I guess the moral of the story here is, criticizing people bad because I said so. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the Surgeon game b-roll which was forced upon me by Retrowave. Fuck you by the way. And I guess thank you to these channel members who embrace the chat ZDoom and earn the shoutout. Be sure to like and subscribe to boost me in the algorithm. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.